That's how I have it set up. Okay, guys, welcome back to class. So today we are continuing the Call of Plankton, as we were calling it, the Sponegebob style Call of Duty's map. Now, last time we were kind of doing the level design stuff. Let's see what we got here. We've got. Let's transition over. Here's our map. We made it nighttime, we made it foggy, we made it look like kind of the hash slinging slasher episode. Now, okay, we're in first person, good. I started doing some of like the Krusty Krab interior, so to speak, blocking it out. I think it's okay. I think it needs to be wider, maybe. I don't think I'll know what feels right as we play it. Until we have some enemies actually coming at us and like that kind of thing. So I want to focus today on developing out the Call of Duty systems, starting with AI and enemy. Does that sound good to you guys? So we could do that. We could do kind of starting with the AI and the enemies programming and getting that working. All right, see 3 yeses. Anybody else? Okay, you guys want that? Yeah? Okay, cool. Awesome. So appreciate the feedback. Then in that case, let's begin. And yeah, exactly as you're doing, communicate via the chat. If you want to unmute your microphone and say something, you can. Let's get started. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Close out that second content browser. So I have so little time on these things because we just have 30 minutes to do it. It's a big challenge to like get as much done as possible. Sometimes, you have grand plans and you spend 20 of those 30 minutes on solving one little problem. It happened in my 8th period, which was on Friday, which we're making the Mandalorian the game, whatever that means, right? Which is really cool. And I was so excited for that project. And most of the episode, we should call it the episode, most of the day, we're just like, I was solving an animation problem. So hopefully this won't happen with this because I've done what we're going to do before. So it should work, but you never know. So, okay, but that's why I want to get started, bam, right away. So just a little review. Last time we actually did make ourselves some code that's really nice. This code called do line trace in the world, right? Line trace by channel. This shoots an invisible line from one point to another point. We made these things called start and end locations, and we put it exactly where we want the line to start and the end location where we want the line to end. All right, so it's going to shoot that invisible line into the world. And what we're doing is we can ask, hey, what did we hit on that line? Hey, Brian, thanks for being on camera. And Leslie and Angel, guys, you guys are rock stars, so thank you very much. Helps me. So anyway, what we're doing here is we're getting the hit result, and then we can ask a bunch of questions about what did we hit? How far away was it? What was the exact location of the hit? And most importantly, what did we hit? And right now, I'm just printing what we hit. And since I'm running this on Tick, basically what this is code for figuring out what we're looking at any one point in time. So it's kind of like you imagine there's a crosshair. So if you look on the top left in my little window here, as I look at you should be seeing, let me make sure, maybe there's no collision on that. I'm like, wow. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's saying landscape, landscape, landscape. I'm going to change something real quick. I'm going to make sure that we're tracing on the not visibility channel, camera channel. Camera channel tends to hit more things because whenever you do collision and stuff, you can have collision events and hitting things happen on certain channels, actually, which is neat. So, okay, so that's that. Let's close out plugins. We're going to use the same system, but to cause a like weapon fired event, which would be really useful for all the weapon fires and stuff. We'll do that in a second. Let's start though right away by doing the NPC stuff. So what I'm going to do to make our NPC development simpler is I'm just going to simply duplicate our character and turn that into an NPC. So right click, duplicate. Some of you guys did this with me last year when we made the, enemy follow you. It's going to be a similar idea. Oh, it's someone's birthday. It's Christopher's birthday. Praise him. All right, we're going a little overboard there, Christian. But I will wish you a happy birthday. I'm not going to change my religion to worship you, though. Happy birthday style. Maybe next birthday. Maybe next year. A Christopher shrine? Building a shrine now? Really? I didn't get no shrine on my birthday. Come on, guys. All right, so happy birthday, man. Right click, duplicate. I made the duplicate. I'm going to open up the duplicate. We can get rid of the line trace code. We can get rid of all this code, actually, because that's not needed for the AI. And then we can get rid of the camera. I do want to be able to see him, so let's actually make this mesh visible. We made it invisible for our character. All right, so now this is our zombie, right, or whatever. It would be zombies in Call of Duties. I think for this game, right, it's going to be like planktons and stuff. Thoughts and prayers. All hail, Christopher. Okay, guys, you guys are getting a little dogmatic about the whole Christopher birthday thing. Christopher, you're going to have a cult on your hands, which I know sounds fun in the beginning, but they never end well. All right, so let's make this NPC do everything we can possible to get to the player. So we're basically making an event called follow player, go to player, whatever. So let's do that right now. Right click, custom event. We're going to name this, let's see, what should we name it? What should we name this custom event, guys? Somebody tell me. It's supposed to follow the player, go to the player, go towards the player. Any ideas for a custom name for our event? Christopher, that's what we're going to name the event? Come on, man. All right. Christopher. Okay, there's 2 votes. All right, I have to abide. All right, we're naming this the Christopher event. Christopher, this is for your birthday, along with all your weird cultish followers. Okay, so to make the Christopher event, which is, I'm going to put as a comment so I know what the heck this is in the future. Go towards player event. This is going to take advantage of the AI move to node. Follow Christopher or die. Jeez. All right, more people are voting for that. So okay, we'll do that. Follow Christopher, parentheses, or die. Does that mean Christopher's our main character? Kind of, so to speak. I thought it was Sponegebob, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Christopher's a zombie. Who knows? But anyway, AI move to. Great node. Oops, that's not the right one. I want the AI move to. And it's going to ask you, okay, for a few things. First off, pawn. What does it mean by pawn? Pawn means who's doing the moving. In this case, it's this blueprint, right? The NPC blueprint we just made. So the one we're coding it on, it should be moving towards our destination. So we're just going to put self. Okay, it's this blueprint itself. It's moving. So you can always get this reference to self. All right. Now the destination. We don't know what the destination is. Wherever the player is at, right? So we're going to ignore that and instead go to target actor. Target actor is the actor that you want the thing to go towards, which we want to be the player character. So we're going to do get player character. Bam, plug that in. Okay. Acceptance rate is how close he's going to get, the kind of sense of personal distance, social distancing parameter. Let's set that 5 is 5 centimeters. It's way too close. Even though he's going to get there and kill you, let's just set it to like 65. Because sometimes they get so close they bump into your camera and it's kind of annoying. It's not like a, yeah. So anyway, once he gets to you though, this event will be over. We don't want it to be over. We want always in pursuit, always in pursuit. So after you get there, we're going to recall our custom event called follow Christopher or die. So follow Christopher or die gets called on success. And just in case, sometimes on fail gets triggered if something blocks the nav mesh or something temporarily. So always like to plug both those in. All right, that will ensure this event's always going to keep trying to fire. As long as we start it at least once. All right, so a Church of Christopher Easter egg. These are crazy. Sponegebob Christopher hybrid. Yeah, like a mutant Christopher. All right, so begin play. On the beginning of the game, we're going to call follow Christopher or die. So as soon as the game starts, trigger this event, and this event is self-triggering from that point on. You know, go to the guy. As soon as you get there, go to him again. As soon as you get there, go to him again. As soon as you get there, go to him again. Right? So does it freezes me out and you aren't able to see me anymore. But can you guys still hear me? Gosh darn it. Okay. 1 second, guys. How does the mic sound now? I'm working on it. It's already better? Yeah, okay. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. All right, so we shall continue. So follow Christopher or die. I'll begin play. The last thing you need to always have for these kind of NPC interactions, you have to have something called a nav mesh. All that AI stuff will not work unless you have something called a nav mesh bounds volume, which is basically a big box that you make as big as you want the area where the enemies and stuff can actually interact with. So I'll make it as big as our level. The bigger it is, you'll start to see a performance problem. So don't make it ridiculously big, you know. And I'll put it right here so I kind of have this pseudo Krusty Krab as well as like this area, which I think I might like better as a frame for a Krusty Krab. I really won't know until I see enemies. We kind of feel how big they are. My mic is delayed, and that's all. Okay, is it still understandable, or should I? Would it be better if I restarted? It might take a minute. You can't see my screen now. Angel, are you saying I'm good, or are you saying no? You can't see my screen. You can't see though. Son of a gun. All right. You can tell Minicam was not developed in Unreal Engine, otherwise we wouldn't be having these problems. Okay, yeah. Well, I see. Okay, so it went to my. Bam. Is that better? Yeah. And how's my audio? Good? Can you see the game? My audio is okay? Okay, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. You guys are like my audio techs. By the way, make sure that your nav mesh is working. Press the P key on your keyboard. It's going to highlight any walkable area green. You press P again, just make it go away. Okay, so now I can drag out our NPC into the world. Let's drag out a few of them, okay, because it should be multiple zombies. Put them wherever. And as soon as I hit play, they should be like coming towards me. Oh, one more thing we should do. They're going to be running at full blast towards me, and I don't want to do that. So let's set the speed from 600 down to, I don't know, what's a good number? Half that? A little bit more than half that? How slow should they be? Normal running is 600. And you can unmute and say it if you want, or just put it in. Sean says 450. Brian says 350. 420. Sean, oh, wow, which is original. Since 450 is the first one I saw, let's do 450. 450 is too fast. No. Too fast. I don't want fast zombies. Maybe later rounds. We'll do 350 for now. Okay, Leslie says 350. All right, hit play. Let's look. Oh, here they come. Right? So now they are coming for us, just like so. And they're trying. And actually, he did bump in my camera, so that's something we have to fix. Whoa, there's like an invisible. Oh no, that's a reflection. Okay. So yeah, they're really coming towards us, and so we know that works as far as now. Let's get it so we can kill the dang things. Okay, so let's actually make a shooting event called Fire Weapon. Okay, custom event. Now I'm on the player character, by the way. Custom event, Fire Weapon. What type of code? How do you think we're gonna make a fire weapon happen? What type of code are we going to write here? Any ideas? Bingo, Brian's right. We're going to use a line trace. Same idea. Let's do that. Let's just copy and paste that, actually. Okay, so let's do this fire weapon. So I didn't remove that code. We still have this code right now is like finding out. Actually, I'm gonna change the name of this. Find out, or I'm gonna put this. Detect what player is looking at. Since this is always happening on tick, we can always then ask. And let's just change this out hit variable that we store what they hit. Let's just say player current look at hit results. Okay, so it's going to store whatever they're currently hit. Okay, I'll get rid of that print string. We know that works, so we don't need that. This is for the same idea, but a little different. Brian said something about like, hey, we can move this end location so it goes out farther, right? Which makes sense, especially like sniper weapons, shotguns, whatever it might be, right? I'm fine leaving it where it is for now, but that's a good thing to remember. Like when we start introducing different weapon types and stuff, we can mess around with that. Right now, let's just get something to happen when we fire the weapon. So first off, let's do a let's do this. So all right, so I'm gonna break the hit result, and let's spawn a particle wherever we actually hit the ground. So we actually have an explosion particle here from starter content. And we're going to plug that into location. So right, the location we hit. In fact, I've noticed impact point is slightly more accurate sometimes. It's up to you. Do you want to impact point or location? Location or impact point? Which one should we do, guys? Not a trick question. All right, impact point. Okay, we'll start that. We'll try that. And if it messes up, we'll change it. All right, spawn emitter location versus scale. This is how big the thing is. The explosion is too big. Let's just make it a quarter the size, so 0.25 for the scale. All right. And what that's going to do is that's going to, whenever we trigger this event, wherever the line trace gets blocked, right, wherever it hits, impact point, it's going to spawn a little particle there. But we actually got to trigger this somehow. So let's trigger this from our left mouse button being pressed, right? So that'll be like our shoot button. So when left mouse button is pressed, I want you to call the event fire weapon. Okay, that's what's happening there. So now, go back here. If I hit play, bam, see what's happening? I'm causing those to happen when I click. In fact, I can probably hit these guys with it. Bam, right? Okay, so now we just want it. They're getting way too close. Now, I'm going to keep them farther away. Go back to their code real quick. Let's do 100. Maybe we need to stop on overlap. Maybe. Okay, so what we want to do is now just kill them, okay? So what we could do, I see, guys, now I understand what you mean by that delay. I see everybody said impact like way after I asked the question. Gotcha. They broke SpongeBob's heart. All right, so now we got to actually kill the dang NPC. So here's what we're going to do. Go to NPC. Let's make health for the NPCs, right? Just like in Call of Duty Zombies. Round 1, you can just knife them and they die immediately. Round 2, you can knife them, but you knife them twice. Round 3, you knife them 3 times, right? They kind of like this incremental health. So that's like an integer. So we'll just count integers. And so let's give them a health variable. We'll do a damage enemy event. And then we'll be checking, hey, should he be dead yet? Should he be dead yet? In the moment he should be dead, or make him fall down. We'll do that right now. Okay, so plus do variable. Let's name it health. Maybe be a little bit more precise. Enemy health. Set that variable type to integer. We're gonna do the same thing for our player at some point too. Maybe today, we'll see. So we're on our NPC blueprint again, just so you remember we're on our NPC zombie guy. In fact, let's rename him Zombie. I know that they're going to be fish or whatever, or little planktons or something. We should have maybe a plankton boss. So let's, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, damaging their health. Let's make a custom event called damage health. Custom event called damage health. Again, I'm just deciding whether I should make it damage enemy health or damage health. Sometimes I like to be really specific. The more specific tends to be the better, but I'm also like, I don't want to overdo it. Damage health, parentheses, enemy. Yeah, okay, we'll do it that way. Zombies are the fishes. Yeah, exactly. You guys gotta find me assets, by the way. I meant to ask this beginning class. Anybody find any sound effects or models yet? I know I tasked, I think, a few of you with that, I believe. And if I didn't, that's what I want. For next class, if somebody can find some 3D models. Mason, you tried? Really? Nothing? Okay, that's all right. I understand. I mean, there's stuff I can get. Like, what about sound effects? Can somebody give me some sound effects from the show? Things like the dolphins cursing. I mean, you've got like, bubbles, like anything, right? That could really make that come to life. Think about it. Put in the chat your ideas on what would be good sound effects. But as you do that, I'm making an event called damage enemy health. We're actually going to set the enemy health to itself minus however much we're damaging it by. Now I could say, all right, subtract it by 1, and you see this little calculation sets enemy health to whatever it was minus some number, so it's going to decrease it by 1. But what I could do is I could actually pass in this in the form of an input by dragging this onto the custom event. Watch this. Bam. Now I have a number coming in from the custom event. So I'm going to name this damage amount. And this can be really useful because when we start to call this event from our player at the enemy he's aiming his gun at, right? We can pass in however much we want to damage that enemy by, and because that number might change depending on the gun we're using. Okay, if we just use the shotgun blast versus the little spatula thing, those would be different damage amounts, right? So it's just important to know. Okay, so we got this damage amount. I just organize the wires like that, and it's overkill. Control Z. All right, damage enemy amount. So enemy health minus the damage amount is going to be the new enemy health. And then we're going to make this custom event. Do we need a custom event? No, we don't need a custom event. We're just going to, right after this, check to see if the health of our enemy is less than or equal to 0, which means he should be dead, right? So we'll do a branch here, saying, hey, if the enemy health is less than or equal to 0, you gotta kill this enemy. He's dead. He's lost enough health that he should be dead. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You could do the node code, the node called destroy actor, which will delete him from the world. But there's a more satisfying way to see it, which is you could do like ragdoll, where they fall back. So let's do that. There's 3 nodes in combination that make the ragdoll possible. I'm doing this from memory. I did it in a couple other classes. I think it's set collision enabled, and then it's that. So you set collision enabled on the mesh here. Okay, that's his animated mesh. Then I think what the second one is. I know the last one is set simulate physics. Set simulate physics, set all bodies simulate physics, and that will checkmark simulate physics, and then he'll fall over. I'm trying to think, what is the other one? You could Google it, but let's just check this first. Let's just see if that'll work by itself. But what we're going to do, is now we're going to call this damage enemy event if we hit an enemy with our gun, okay? So let's do this. Remember, we made this fire weapon event. We're spawning the explosion particle. We can do sound here as well, okay? We'll do a little sound real quick. Play sound. You do sound 2D, sound at location. We'll do 2D for now. And we're going to do, let's just do the explosion sound. Again, give me those sound effects. We'll put something way more interesting here. Okay, we'll do that. Now what we want to do is call that event. Now, how do you call an event that's on another blueprint, right? This event exists on a zombie blueprint. Well, you have to access that blueprint somehow. Well, what we're doing is we're asking, hey, did the line trace, when we called this fire open, did it hit the enemy? So this hit actor is what we want to use. So drag off hit actor and type in zombie, and now we can cast to our zombie, okay? So bring that over here. Now I am going to reroute this wire so that it looks a little bit more clean. Okay. Cast a zombie, and now by dragging off here, we can access any of its variables and any of its custom events, including the event we made called damage health enemy. And you'll see when I click on this, not only is it the event, but we have an input in the form of damage amount. We can plug in the number of damage it's going in, which is awesome. Now, right now, I'm just going to set it to 1 because we don't have any weapon types, whatever. Every time you shoot, it's just going to lower its health by 1. Okay. Let's actually make sure that they have a default health of 1. All right, so they all have a health of 0 right now, so let's give them all a health of 1. And that should make it so they should die in 1 hit. So let's test it. Like I said, this I think is missing a node to make this work. So I think what the other node was, but I'll Google it in a second if it doesn't work. But here we go. I'm going to shoot at him. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and it worked. Here comes the other one. Give him some time. Bam. Oh. I don't know why that didn't work. Eventually, that guy died. All right. So we got it working. Oh, I remember the node. And that's why they're shaking on the ground. You have to disable their movement. That's what it is. Disable movement. Perfect. We need a dead body animation. Yeah, we could do something like that. Go ahead. What was that? What do you mean dead body animation? Well, they kind of get all crazy. Yeah, it would depend on the model. You know, we could do something really fun. Let's try this. I've never tried this. Launch something called launch character that's supposed to apply physics in a particular direction. And what if we launch the character with like a certain velocity when we hit them? I don't know what that velocity. Okay, let me just plug in a random number here. Let's just do like 10 or something. Or 10. We'll see what this is. I don't know. And for Z, which is up, I'll put 5 because I don't want them shooting up like a rocket. No idea what this is going to do. I mean, I know it should launch them. We'll see. Oh, hold on. I have it as self, which means it's going to launch us if this happens. We don't want that to happen. We want to launch the character actor object. Oh, no, right here. Boom. Plug that in. Okay. And if this works, this would be good for a certain weapon type. You know, let's see. Okay. No, it didn't work, huh? Why is this guy immune? Okay. Interesting. I wonder if I want to put the launch character, or let me think. Out of range. The bodies are probably blocking it. Oh, you know what? They are. Okay, you know what? Smart. Good point. Because these guys, these enemies, they have a big stupid capsule collision around them. And even though they ragdoll, this capsule thing stays where it's at. So we got to disable that capsule collision. And then because when we're shooting behind, it's hitting the capsule instead of the guy behind the capsule. So let's grab that and let's set the collision. Good point. Who said that? Yeah, that's a good point. That was Angel, wasn't it? Nice. So set collision enabled. I'm trying to think. If I set no collision here, is that going to interfere with the fact that I just set collision on the mesh? Probably not. Let's try it. But I don't know. Add a crosshair. Dude, absolutely. It's too confusing to see what we're doing. Let's do that right now. And then we have 3 minutes left, so this will be the last thing we'll do. We'll add the crosshair. Great point. Somebody get me a crosshair icon, because there's none in Unreal. I'll just use an image if we run out of time. But if somebody... Yes, it would be a widget, Mason. Good point. Can someone go to a website called flaticon.com right now? It's an awesome website. Find us a crosshair that feels right, that feels Spongebob-ish, but isn't annoying, because crosshairs can't be annoying. You be careful with crosshairs. They should just be there for a purpose. Simple's always better. I can get a PNG emailed to you right now. Perfect. Yeah, email PNG. That'd be perfect. Or if you have the flat icon link and it's on there, you can drop the link in the chat. So we're going to make a widget right now. Right-click, user widget. We're going to name this player HUD. Double-click. Open up. It's a widget like you've correctly identified. Let's do an image. Like I said, this is going to be the PNG eventually. But right now I'm just going to put this image. And we want this to be in the center. How do you make something in the dead center of the screen all the time, no matter your resolution? You do it like this. Well, first you try to get in the center as much as possible, but you set the anchor to the center. And that'll always keep it in the center no matter what. Now I can see it actually kind of off center. So let's bring this up. And this needs to be way smaller. All right, so now that's there. And like I said, once we have the PNG, I'll just set the image to whatever image we want it to be. Right, there's my current image, but that's not a very good crosshair. Now if I hit play, let's do full screen. You're gonna see that. Oh, you won't see it. You know why? Because I didn't add the widget to the screen. Just because you make a widget doesn't mean it actually gets added to the screen. So on our character, on begin play event, which I don't have set up yet, so let's pull that up right now. Begin play, which means the very beginning of the game. I want to make that widget show up on screen. It's a 2-node process. Create widget first. It's the first one. Set it to player HUD. And then anybody know the second one? Anybody remember from last year what the second node for this is? To actually get it to show up. Perfect. Checking my email now. All right, got Mason's Crosshair. So a good Crosshair. Anybody know why he gave me a PNG? Wouldn't a JPEG be perfectly fine? Somebody answer. All right, it's imported his Crosshair. The reason he gave me a PNG is because PNGs are transparent. You don't want this to be like a background. So this is his Crosshair. I really like this Crosshair. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that the pixel ratios are not power of 2. And that's something you can always edit in Photoshop or whatever. Don't worry, I see even professional UI designers not know to do that, but that's okay. So now let's go in here and we're going to set this to our Crosshair that looks lovely. The answer to my other question before was you create the widget and then you add it to the viewport. And that's it. That will cause begin play, create the widget, add it to the viewport. That will cause the Crosshair to show up on screen. Never mind. Why didn't it show up on screen? Player HUD, add a viewport, begin play. Bam. Maybe I made it too tiny? Made it too tiny, guys. Let's make it extra big just to make a point. There it is. All right, and it's actually dead in the center. That looks perfect. So now that makes aiming way easier. Way, way easier. Full screen that for you. So now you see we got this Crosshair. It's actually a really good Crosshair. I like the... It is too stretched out wide. I like the color though, because it contrasts with the environment. Like if you've got a dark environment, you don't want a black Crosshair. You know. If you can't get this perfect, you can always go into the settings over here where it's position X, position Y, and slowly kind of edit it like that. Get it right. Wow, I think that's going to be good. All right, I'm going to close out the live stream. Thank you for watching.